The PlayStation 5 is here. We've got a very special video for you here today. I've got Sumit here with me. We're going to be discussing the PlayStation 5. So we've just recently got had a bit of a look at the design of the PlayStation 5 and some of the games that are going to be on the system. So Sony set this up as a reveal for some of the games that they've been developing. And third-party developers as well. And at the end of the presentation, they actually showed off the console as well and some of the accessories which are going to come with it. So, we'll start off the bat with the design, I think. Let's talk about the actual main console first, I think. So what did you think, Sumi? What did you think of the design?
It looked interesting. I mean, it's got a very distinct design. I can say that. It looks like one of those, there's like those fan renders that come out like months before like a console's actually revealed.
Yeah.
Someone's worked on AutoCAD and just made like a fan render. It literally looks like a fan render come to life.
Yeah.
I did not think PlayStation or Sony would be doing something like that in terms of a design, but it's got that whole two-tone thing of the controller that they revealed a couple of weeks ago, the white and the black, and the blue sort of lighting, which is interesting. I don't know, what do you think of that? Like,
the color tones? Yeah,
the two-tone sort of look of it.
I think it looks good. It looks very sleek. I think it's a bit futuristic. It's got that blue tone.
It looks very I don't know if you know like Alienware PCs. It looks kind of like that.
So there's been a few memes flying around as well where people have said that they've already got the PlayStation 5 and
it's basically a folder and a PS2 and
or a router and two pieces of paper stuck around the router. So look, I like the design. I think that they haven't ventured too far from what a gaming sort of design is for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's pretty far from it. I've not seen anything like this.
Well, from what the initial designs were, it was like a jet type.
Well, so that was the dev kit. Actually,
the dev kit, yeah.
So, that was with the airflow. I think it actually still sort of does that in a different way. That it's sort of got that V design, and then like the air cooling sort of goes out. It's just different.
I know this is going to sound a bit controversial, especially with the Xbox fans out there, but don't you think it looks a little bit like the shape of it looks like the Xbox Slim?
Yes, yeah, that
just the shape. I'm not talking about.
You mean the 360 Slim?
Yeah, Xbox 360 Slim.
Yeah, that kind of does look like that actually.
Just sort of like what the curve. You know what I mean? I mean, it does stick out a bit more than that. So the outer shell looks like it does stick. It is different.
Yeah.
But the shape is a bit similar to that. So, look, I think it looks good. I think it'll look good set up on with the other games systems on the TV.
I'm more of a I just like how the Series X looks. It's very clean, very nice. I don't know. It's just I'm more into that sort of look. But
I like how Xbox have gone with their name is Xbox, so it looks like a box. It actually does look like a box. Yeah. So that's good in that way. But PlayStation, I like the design. I would like to see. They might do this. I heard a little bit later. They might do it in different colors, like an all black.
I think an all black one. I've seen sort of fan mock-ups of what an all black one of the PS5 will look, and it actually looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really good with blue lighting or red lighting. But I've heard that they're gonna probably release that a little bit later down the track, not during launch. I'm not sure. This is what I've heard from other websites as well. So, I like the design. I like the design of the controllers and the camera.
Yes, I don't know. It wasn't really mentioned much, but there was a little camera there. It had the same sort of white thing around design. But there was a camera. That sort of brings into question about PSVR 2. Is that on the horizon? I've heard from rumors that it's actually a year away, PSVR 2.
Because the camera is actually a dual lens camera.
Yeah, dual lens camera as well. So
they're preparing for the PSVR 2.
Yeah.
Just if you look at do you guys remember Wall-E?
Yes.
So if you imagine if you combine the head of the two characters, the rusty old robot and the futuristic robot, if they had a baby, this is what the camera looks like, the face of what their baby would look like.
Yeah, that's true.
Merge them together and that's what it would look like. Yeah, they also had the 3D headphones.
Yes, they've got the signature 3D audio technology. Apparently, I didn't hear. I didn't watch the press conference in the with those headphones. But yeah, from what I hear, the 3D audio technology is actually really sick.
And these are all releasing on launch, I assume, as well.
Yes, it's releasing on launch. So, but yeah, now that we sort of talked about the hardware, I think we should talk about the games.
Some of the games, yeah.
So the one that sticks out for me is, and I think this might be a launch title because it does say it's coming out in 2020. I think is the Spider-Man Miles Morales. So, from what I understand, this is meant to be just like a stopgap between Spider-Man 1 and 2. So, I don't know if it's maybe was planned as a DLC that just got moved to a PS5 title. But it's sort of, it looks like that, but it is definitely enhanced for the PS5. And it looks really good, Miles Morales.
Is it a direct sequel to the Amazing Spider-Man game that released a couple of years ago?
No, not Amazing Spider-Man. It was just a normal Spider-Man on PS4.
Oh, sorry, the normal Spider-Man that was released a couple of years
ago.
Yeah,
it is. It's part of that world. So in that original game for PS4, Miles Morales is in that game. So yeah, there.
A couple of other games. I mean, you've got to have a sports game on launch, and they've got NBA 2K21.
That looked incredible. I was waiting for in this conference for something to wow me for next gen. That looked incredible. It looked real.
The actually. Detail,
like the level of detail, is unheard of.
It's a very short clip.
It's very short, but it just looked so good, and it's just it looked real. So yeah, we could see third parties push the system a bit. I don't know whether I don't know whether there was anything really from first party that I thought was incredible.
Yeah,
that level of detail that Unreal demo was.
Yeah, there was one game. That I saw. Deathloop. Deathloop looked interesting.
Yeah, a lot of indie sort of games that just sort of were okay, but nothing that really wowed me like that Unreal Engine demo. That looks incredible.
That was insane. Like that level of... I'd like a Tomb Raider type game with that level, please.
But that's the thing. That technology is not available till next year.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have to...
Another game I saw that would look pretty good was Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, that's a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a PS4 title.
The detail in that video, oh my god, it
looks pretty
so
good.
Beautiful.
I wasn't really a fan of Horizon, the original game. This looks okay, but yeah, this was one of the heavy hitters for Sony, and that is one of the sort of things actually I'll get into a bit later. Is that I actually thought Sony was lacking a massive game that would sell the system. But we'll get back into that a bit later. The other game I actually want to talk about is, and this is a bit of a letdown, Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, to be honest, like with racing games, I've got to say, they've really pushed the limit on the current consoles with the graphics in CGI and gameplay on the current systems. So really, to go one up from that, it's very difficult.
Well, that's the thing. Gran Turismo 7, it just looked like a PS4 game.
Yeah,
and it was very disappointing, especially when you consider Gran Turismo usually is the ones that are pushing that graphics level.
And I mean, I got to say, not saying it doesn't look bad. It looks really good, but it looks like PlayStation 4, so there's not much difference there.
But this is where I think Forza has been winning in that sort of regard. It just Forza looks better and plays a bit better, I've heard. But yeah, it's just how it is at the moment.
Unfortunate, but GT7 is a launch title. Yeah. That's definitely. I think it's a launch title.
I don't know actually.
Usually, Gran Turismo comes up as a launch title. So, Demon Souls.
Yes, Demon Souls. I'm not sure. Retro Johnny might correct me on this, but Demon Souls I think is part of the Dark Souls franchise, which is very popular as well, and it does look incredible. We watched the 4K trailer, and I'd suggest everyone to watch the 4K trailers of the games, because the stream was 1080p.
Yeah.
And you don't get to see the level of detail that you see in the 4K trailers.
The 4K.
So I'd definitely go to YouTube and check out the 4K trailers on Sony's YouTube channel, and it just looks incredible. I just thought, Demon Souls is a game to watch out for as well.
They've also got another Abe's Odyssey game coming back to PlayStation. So again, it's not really next gen sort of stuff, but it does look pretty good. It's called Oddworld Soulstorm.
Can't they just let this franchise die? I'm sick of this franchise. See, it's like every console generation, they try to revive it, and no one wants to buy it. So I don't know. Like it's a bit odd.
So Square Enix are coming up with Project Athia.
Yeah, it's PS5 exclusive.
PS5 exclusive.
It looks pretty good. Just got to see how it turns out. But yeah, if it's called Project Athia, I don't think it's that far gone in development.
Yeah.
But now I think we should talk about one of the big hitters, Resident Evil 8.
Resident Evil 8. So initially when we started watching it, we didn't realize it was actually Resident Evil.
I was watching the stream. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what is this game? Until the title actually came out at the end. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is actually really cool for a Resident Evil title to be set in this type of environment where there's like witches and it's like in the snow and
possibly werewolf or yeti or whatever he is.
Werewolf zombie.
Yeah.
It's a new thing. But yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I got to say, the environment looks beautiful.
Yeah.
The detail in the environment is crazy. The characters, they are detailed, but I've got to say, like I think we discussed the animation.
The facial animations don't look very next gen, but you'd expect that in a lot of games that's sort of coming out in this launch period.
They could still be working on that at the moment.
That they're not going to be the greatest in the launch period. We'll see a lot of the great console games, I reckon, come in 2-3 years' time from these consoles, but.
Yep.
It's just a launch period. Some games will look really good, and some games will just be like they're just enhanced PS4 titles.
So the burning question: Xbox or PlayStation?
It's an interesting one. So I'm going to get both anyway, but I was going to wait till next year to get PS5 because I didn't really see a launch title that I liked, but Spider-Man is a game I really liked, and so that sort of pushed me over the edge to consider the purchase for PS5 at launch. So, but I'm sticking with Xbox at the moment. That has been my you could say lock for next generation because of Halo launching. Halo Infinite. But yeah, it looks like I might be getting both.
I got to say, I was an Xbox person too, but I feel like this is going to push me towards the PlayStation.
That's the thing. Xbox hasn't even really shown its showcase at all.
I'm just comparing both of what they've shown so far. I'm sure there's a lot more that Xbox hasn't shown yet.
Well, Xbox's actual showcase that hasn't been done yet. They've only done like a third-party one, and that one they did last year. So their next one is supposed to be in July, and that's apparently where they're going to show off all their first-party games, and I'm hearing big things about what's going to be shown as well.
So it's at the moment it's a bit of a cat and mouse game with Microsoft and Sony. So Microsoft showed off a bit of Xbox footage. Sony's now shown what their footage with some of their games. They haven't revealed the pricing because they're probably going to try to undercut each other.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the funny thing, Max. So Microsoft is hell-bent on undercutting PS5, but PS5 is not showing its price anytime soon. And I don't know if it's going to go down to the wire where they're just going to undercut them at the last minute. Even.
And interesting with the PlayStation, they've gone the same way as Xbox went in this generation with a digital-only version.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. A digital-only version and a disc version.
And to me, I think the digital-only version makes a lot of sense now. With internet speeds the way they are, I usually do download my games now anyway. I don't really go for the disc version, so I'm definitely going to get the digital version.
Now, I initially thought maybe the digital version might be cheaper, but the storage in these systems is going to be more expensive. So
that's what I hear. Yeah, that there's going to be more storage, but it is, at least in PS5's case, a very expensive SSD solution because it is custom from what I hear, and
so
it's very fast.
The digital version might be more expensive than the
Could
one
be.
with
It's
the
very
disc.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what they do with the pricing because that's going to be very interesting in the next couple of months. It's due out. We don't know the release date yet, but it's probably going to be from
November is most likely.
towards the end of the year.
The holiday period over there in America.
Release.
And I would pre-order these consoles because of the pandemic. There was, I'd think there would be a limited supply of them. It won't be as easier to get as you think. So I think usually I really don't care about pre-ordering. Because of the fact that there's always going to be units, but I think now is probably the time to pre-order. It's going to be very hard to get one, I think, at the end of the year.
Yeah. So for I mean, I know you're looking at both, but are you looking at maybe a PlayStation or Xbox at the moment? Which company is winning the race for you at the moment?
I don't like. People thought PS5 really just knocked it out of the park here. I kind of disagree with that. I thought that PS5 gave an okay presentation, but they were missing one massive game to really just bring in that audience. Spider-Man is basically a DLC. Horizon is not something a lot of people are into. There is a good audience for it, but it's not one that is like one of the considered in my eyes like one of the massive games. But yeah, if I was Sony, I would have just shown even a teaser of like a God of War game would have gone really good. But yeah, it's just
like for me, the way I'm leaning towards is a PlayStation at this stage.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards a PlayStation.
But what games are you thinking?
Look, Spider-Man would be up there. I really like some of the other games. Resident Evil is something I would look at.
Yeah.
NBA 2K.
Best thing, these are all third-party games, except for Spider-Man. They are on the Xbox as well.
So are they going to be on the Xbox?
Yeah, they're both third-party games, NBA and Resident Evil. So,
we'll have to see how they play on.
But I guess the interesting thing with Resident Evil 8 is the whole PSVR situation, because I really loved Resident Evil 7 with PSVR. It's a horrifying experience, but
waiting to see what they do with the PSVR. That's going to be crucial.
Yeah,
because I don't think Microsoft has announced anything.
No, Microsoft's not really doing anything in VR. They've sort of stayed away, so we just have to see what happens next with that.
So, guys, let us know what you're thinking at the moment with PlayStation versus Microsoft Xbox. Which way are you leaning towards? Did you enjoy the presentation from Xbox? PlayStation. Do you like the design so far of both consoles? Which one do you like better? Let us know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe this video if you can, and we shall see you in the next video. Peace.